Well, hi everyone. This is Deidre Kendrick back with another wonderful health chats among friends. So tonight I'm honored to have my good friend Ruby Shoals back for another talk. And tonight we're going to be talking about supplemental insurance. But first, I'm going to have Ruby tell you guys a little bit about herself. Ruby, go for it.
Hey, Dee. Thank you so much for inviting me to come back and share some information that I think people ought to really need to know in order to prepare better for the future. Uh, you can't use what you don't know about. So my goal is to just to share information about things that can help people plan better for their family. Uh, if you want a little bit about me, I'm a retired registered nurse, 10 years of ER, 30 plus GI, and as a director of that department, and then went into nurse coaching, working with corporate employees on how to stay healthy and work with their doctors. Uh, After I got tired of that, I got my life insurance license and decided that I wanted to see what I could do to help people learn how to protect their families better and create a legacy to leave behind instead of leaving a mess. So
Right.
help people understand how to take better care of their families and use insurance as a tool. So I'm a financial professional, life insurance agent, field underwriter, and my joy is helping people.
That's wonderful. You're doing a great service in just a different form because all nurses don't have to be in the hospital setting. We can do other things, it's great. So, Ruby, tell me a little bit why, your personal why that you're doing your business.
Oh, you would ask me that question. Uh, my personal why is basically my mission statement, and that is to empower people and to improve their lives, to live well, build wealth, and leave a legacy. That is my personal mission. And my why is to help other people while I help myself. I felt like when I retired from nursing that I still had something to give back. And I was looking for an opportunity that I could give back and still do something that fit my heart. And what fits my heart is helping people. And education is so key in understanding how to use insurance as a tool. And when I learned how I could use it as a tool to help myself and my family, plus a career that I can work from home and make the income that I want to make
Right.
on my own schedule.
Right.
So right now I'm being Nana and working my insurance business from
Oh,
home.
that's
So yeah,
so wonderful. That's a whole nother podcast about, not being able to tend to your family. Little touchy subject for me until I found
yeah.
out that there's other ways that you can help people. So that's great. So let's delve into some of the supplemental insurance that you're speaking of, because a lot of people, you just don't know what you don't know. I like when you said that. I use that term quite often. So let's, kind of break it down a little bit and go through that.
Well, when you're looking at the healthcare system and you're looking at health insurance and what it pays, you have what I call direct costs, and then you have indirect costs. The direct costs are the things that your health insurance is going to pay for. And you know those, you see them, it's going to be the hospital, it's going to be the doctor, the doctor's office visits, physical therapy, a lot of things that you know are coming as expenses. It's healthcare and expenses are kind of like an iceberg. You know, you see something on top of the water, part of the iceberg on top of the water, but below the water, there's a whole nother iceberg
Mm,
that you don't see.
right.
So above the water, you see those direct costs that you're going to have if you haven't have to go into the healthcare system. But below the water are those indirect costs, the things that you don't realize are coming. And my family has gotten caught into this just recently due to an emergency situation with my grandson.
Right.
Injured in a trauma center in Houston, has been there for a month. So those indirect costs, the hotel stays, the food, the transportation, being off work. And it's been amazing how much stuff costs. Right. And we weren't prepared. Parents are prepared, you know, they have what they need to cover themselves, but you don't think about the kids, what happens to them.
Right. You know
both
what?
Parents are off work taking care of this child.
Yeah. You know,
and so those are the indirect costs, the travel.
That's a very valid point. I mean, you know, a lot of us, you know, we just think about either the elderly or ourselves, and we think we forget about the children that are in college.
Yes, ma'am.
Or even in school age children. It's the entire family. So
it's the family that's infected in those indirect costs of healthcare. Right. And that's where supplemental insurance comes in. Okay. Some of the biggest expensive diseases out there, like cancer, heart attack, stroke, and renal failure. There's a lot of diseases out there that are high dollar diseases. Cancer is one of the biggest ones. But you don't think about, oh, I've got cancer treatments, I've got health insurance, I'll be okay. But then you look at medication costs that are not paid for by the insurance because they may be quote unquote experimental, but they're going to be what you need to give you the best opportunity for a cure. So if you have supplemental insurance, let's look at cancer insurance, for instance. Okay. If you have a supplemental cancer policy, well, it pays directly to you if you get cancer. So if you get a diagnosis of cancer, it can pay anywhere from $750 up to $8,000 for the initial diagnosis. Then you've got per day hospital, you've got extra money for whatever treatments you have. You have extra money coming to you directly for medication. It even pays certain amount for travel, staying in hotels. And also it can pay to have your family go with you. Because these days in healthcare, you better take somebody with you.
Yeah, you better.
You got to take somebody with you because you can't do it all alone. And supplemental insurances, they pay directly to you. So that extra money that's coming into you will help pay for those expenses that are under the water that you don't even think about.
Right, unseen.
So that's why I want to educate people that they are available out there. You know, having a stroke, you can't go back to work. And what do what's going to pay your bills?
Right.
So supplemental insurance can help to offset some of that. And then in my case, it was an injury. What if he'd had accidental insurance that would pay in case of an accident?
Wow.
So we just have to look at the things, and we have to look at our budgets and start to put some of these things in place, because the what ifs of life are really amazing. We're going along Saturday afternoon, just doing our usual, and then you get a call. Right. And that call could have been from any family member. It could have been an injury, it could have been a stroke, it could have been, I've got cancer, I've got to go to MD Anderson and I live 400 miles from there. It could be anything. Yeah. So the thing is to get out there and look and see what's available. Talk to someone. I happen to know a person that you could talk to to help you create a plan.
I think I know that same person.
Know you?
Yeah, I think I met her before. Yes, yes, very nice lady. Yes, very nice. So we talked about a little bit about cancer care, accident, and that you mentioned stroke and heart attack insurance as well. Okay, great. So am I missing anything? Because those are just major.
Yeah, one of the things that as a supplemental policy is hospital indemnity.
Got it.
And hospital indemnity pays you per day that you're in the hospital. And one of the companies I represent, they pay anywhere from $100 a day up to $700 a day for hospitalization up to 20 days. And so the thing is, if you're in the hospital, you can't go to work. You don't know when you're going back to work.
Right.
You still have to pay for your rent or your home mortgage or your utilities, all that food for the
They don't
family that's
stop.
not.
They don't stop and say, "Oh, poor thing,
Yeah,
you're not new."
yeah. The money may stop, but the bills
The
don't.
bills don't. Yes.
So supplemental insurance allows you to have some money coming in so that you can focus on getting well instead of being stressed out about not having money coming in. But it takes planning. You have to plan to get it in place while you're healthy enough because all insurance, you got to qualify for it.
Yeah.
So if you're already sick and got major things going on, a lot of times you cannot get these things in place. So you have to do it while you're healthy enough to qualify.
Right, right. It's better to be proactive than reactive because
Yeah,
when
and
you
so
react,
many of us,
you get denied.
exactly. And so many of
Mm-hmm.
us, and myself included, we procrastinate. We think we have tomorrow to do stuff. And tomorrow's not promised to any of us.
Right.
So you're the healthiest today that you're ever going to be. So get something in place while you can.
I love that. I love that. So, and also I like the point that we brought up. We forget about the kiddos. It's the entire family. And it's the entire
This is
family
not,
that can be affected because you are so right. We don't think about the hidden cost or the costs that are unseen because
yes,
we think about the hospital bills, the medications, but we forget that electric, water, gas, rent, car note, travel
mm-hmm,
expenses,
mm-hmm,
the person who needs to be there close by, they need to be able to pay bills and eat and get to where
yes,
you need them to be. So these are great supplemental insurance plans. So when we say supplement, we're talking about in addition to your already existing plans.
that's exactly right. And they pay directly to you. They don't pay to the hospital, they don't pay to the doctor. So when the money comes, it's coming to you so that you can pay your bills with that money or do whatever you need to do with that money.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a lot of stress off of knowing I got this money coming in. I will be able to pay my bills. Now I can focus on getting well.
Yes. So what?
Because as you know, if you're a parent and something happens to your child,
Yeah.
both
Right.
parents are
Right.
going to have to be there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, are going to want
Absolutely.
to be there. Sometimes they may not be able to because of have somebody's got to work, but they both want to be there. So
Right.
you
Right.
know, supplemental makes a difference. It really does.
So walk me through a process of somebody getting ready to sign up for a plan with you.
So what I simply do is I call them and we talk about what their needs are. What do you want this insurance to do for you? Uh, and then explain the insurance and what it covers. And then we look at the budget. How much can you afford to set aside in your budget that you can continue to pay each month? Not I'm gonna do it this month and then next month, oh, I can't pay that. So, I've got to let that go. You have to look at your budget and strategically plan for what will not interrupt your budget to the fact that you will not be able to keep it. It's a waste of money to get something and not be
Right.
able to keep it. So that's why budgeting is important and looking at that budget and then seeing there's different levels. For example, one company has 4 different levels of coverage from lowest to highest.
Right.
So it's a better chance of it fitting your budget somewhere. So, I always tell people some beats none.
Right.
So if
Right.
you got a small amount coming in, it's gonna pay something,
Peace of
you
mind.
know.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to pay something. And then we talk about what your needs are, we talk about your budget, and then I structure that plan to fit that budget and your needs. And I can do it all over the phone and over the internet. Write the policy, email it to you to sign. And then once it's approved, then the company sends you the policy. And usually there's only a 30-day waiting period most times for it to kick in.
Okay, great. So couple questions or comments. So this is for anybody that can call you, whether you're an
Yes,
entrepreneur, a business owner, or you work for a company. Am I correct?
exactly. I'm an
Okay.
independent insurance agent and field underwriter. I represent a lot of different companies. So it allows me to be able to give my clients what they need
Mm,
instead of having to sell just what that company has.
yeah.
So I can sit down, look at your needs and see who I have, what company I have that will fit your needs since
Right.
I am independent. And
Right.
so I chose to go independent so that I can give my clients what they need, not just what I have to sell them. I'm going to
Oh,
sell you
I
this
love
because
that.
this is
Hmm.
all I have. No, I can fit what you need. And if I don't have what you need, trust me, I will connect you up with somebody that can get you what you need. It's
Yes, she
not
will.
about, for me, it's mission before commission.
Right.
My goal is to take care of you and your family what you need. And it's not about me getting paid, although I do like to get paid,
Yeah.
but that's not the major thing. The major
Right.
thing is making sure
Right.
your family is taken care of and you have what you need.
Absolutely. So don't be scared to call.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're not obligated to do anything but
Right.
call me. You can call me and talk to me about what your needs are and let me look at some things for you. Instead of you going to the internet and looking through stuff and trying to figure it out,
Right.
call an expert and let me do the work for you. So, and then I can look at stuff. I can send you information. I sent out quotes today, and also I sent out a brochure that explained what we talked about. So that's the thing is you need somebody that you can trust to answer all your questions. It's not about how much I get paid, it's how much you need, what you need, and how can I help you get what you need to take care of your family.
Absolutely. And it's for everyone because I know sometimes business owners or entrepreneurs are like, well, I can't do anything. I can't get me any insurance, but you can. There are people
Yes,
out here that are willing and able to get you with the right plan, no matter
that's
your
exactly
situation.
right. And business owners really they need a lot of help with because if they're not at work, then their business may not run without it.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's me. If I'm not working, I don't get paid.
Absolutely. Yes,
So
yes.
if you're medically impaired, you can't work, then your business is basically shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives you peace of mind knowing that you've got some way to make sure your ends meet.
Yes,
So,
yes. And then if you have employees or, whew, it's a lot of responsibility, right?
yeah, it's
Um,
a lot of responsibility on you as an employer also,
right, right,
because if your employees have issues and they're not at work, if you are a good employer or manager, then you are concerned about that person, that employee, and them being able to take care of their family
right.
because you can't continue to pay them. But if they have something in place that will replace that income or help them out, then you feel better about that employee having to be off because of sickness or
Absolutely.
injury. So yeah, you
Absolutely.
take care of your employees, you take care of yourself, and you know, just find out. Don't keep sitting back wondering. Um, I say procrastinating, I guess I say,
Yes. Uh-huh.
on getting on getting something in
Or
place.
thinking you
At
don't
least,
qualify. Now, do they have to
yeah.
take an exam or anything like that for the supplemental
Every
plans?
company, every company is different.
Okay.
But right now, because of COVID, most companies, a lot of the companies are not requiring lab or exams.
Oh, okay.
They will pull your medical history, they will pull your medication history. You have to give them permission to do that. And most of the time, they will either approve you or decline you based on your medical history. And it's called MIB, Medical Information Bureau. And the insurances companies have access to that. And they can go see what kind of medical problems you've had in the past, what medications and stuff that you're on. Okay. And then they can most of the time determine. Now, some of them still will have you to go do an exam and, somebody to come out and do an exam and to draw blood and stuff like that. It depends on your level of health. If you're healthy, then most cases, you don't have to have an exam. But if you've got some health issues, they may require one. But they'll send them to you. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I love about your service is individualized. Is you make it as personal and individualized as you possibly can. And I absolutely love that. It makes a big difference. I tell you.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having your own agent.
Right. Right.
And that agent is going to look out for you in your best interest. Like absolutely. I said, mission before commission.
And who better than a nurse?
We have seen it all, and we know what happens. We know what happens. Yeah. And we got into nursing because we cared about people.
Right.
And then this industry allows me to still continue to care about people, and then to do something else that fits my heart, and that's educate people as to what's available and how they can use these tools. Insurance is a tool, but you don't have to know how to use it, and you have to take some action once you find out what you need, how it will affect and help your family, or you as a business owner. You have to take some action and get some stuff in place, because you just never know. Quick story. I went to see a little lady. She's 75 years old, had no life insurance at all, but she was concerned about leaving a problem and a burden for her two sons. Mm-hmm. She was healthy. She had one medication she took. She took care of herself. She lived alone. She was up and about and looking fine. So I went to see her, got her what she needed. 2 weeks later, she had a major stroke. Mm. She looked the picture of health when I wrote that policy. Mm. But 2 weeks later, she had a major stroke and now is in a nursing home. But her insurance is in place so that when she does pass away, that her family doesn't have to be burdened with funeral expenses. She has taken care of that. Wow. But 2 weeks later, and she would not have been able to do that.
That just goes to show, life is, COVID has taught us that as well, that life is not predictable. We all have this image of how we want our lives to be and what's going to happen then, and all these just wonderful dreams and hopes. But sometimes life happens.
Life does happen, and you never know what it is. Right. So you have to plan as if life is going to really throw some hailstorms down on you. You have to plan for that and be grateful if it doesn't, but at least have the peace of mind of knowing if it does, then I will have something in place that will make my life and my family's life easier.
Absolutely. Well, Ruby, I appreciate your time. I thank you for coming back. If you guys don't remember, the first time we talked about whole life insurance with living benefits. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, living benefits, life insurance. Yes,
right.
You did.
Right. So great plans, great resources and tools that you can use for your entire family. So Ruby, how can someone find out more about some of your plans and some of your services? What's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, the best way to reach me is to send me a text with your name in it, and I will see that regardless of what I'm doing, and I can get back to you. Sometimes phone calls get missed. They'll go to voicemail and you never know that they're there, but text messages come through. So they can feel free to text me, and it's a very simple East Texas number. It's actually 903-244-1537. And just text me your name and that you're interested, what you're interested in, and I will get back to you. Usually within 24 hours. Sometimes as soon as you text me, I will call you. But just depends on what I have going on that day. But I will definitely get back to you within 24 hours. And you're not obligated to do anything but let me help you make some decisions and get the information you need to take care of your family. I don't charge for that. So it's a labor of love. My granddaughter asked me today, she said, Mom, Granddaddy, do you do any quick? I said, yeah, baby, I love what I do. I totally love what I do.
That's awesome.
She said, you're always asking people and talking to people you don't know. And I said, I like people. I like people. So I'm always talking to people and finding out what their needs are and how I can help.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So repeat that number one more time, just in
case. It is 903-244-1537. Awesome. And then also you can, my landing page or my web page is rubyshoals.com. And that's RUBYSHOALS.com. And you can also connect with me through there. You can just click on the little box, fill in your information, it comes directly to me. But it also, the webpage has some information about different things like whole life, term versus whole life, living benefits life. So there's some educational videos on the site to help you learn more about insurance.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you again, Ruby, for coming back and educating us. It's been wonderful. I learned something each and every time I speak with you. I call Ruby my big sister by another mister. So she was adopted without her choice.
Yeah, but Dee, I totally love you. I am proud of your accomplishments and the fact that what you are doing to help educate people is just amazing. You didn't know that you had this calling, but it's amazing what God calls you to do. And when you quit saying no and step into what he's called you to do, how the doors open. And I am so proud of what you do.
Well, thank you. I've been a little hard-headed. He had to knock me upside the head with a few things like, did you see that? Did you see that?
He'll do
it. That's my Heavenly Father. Amen. Well, thank you again, Ruby. It's been awesome. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Health Chats Among Friends, where we bring you reputable resources from our local communities. My name is Deidre Kendrick. I'm a nurse advocate, educator, and navigator. And I love, love, love bringing you great resources. Tune in next time and we will have another amazing chat. Have a good night.